generation of this. It takes a village to raise a family. Do you think that this opportunity is long and past us, or do we think that this can be changed or improved or reverted back to how things used to be?
I'll let you take that first, lady, too, before I jump
You
in.
know, I don't know. I hope so. I don't know for sure. I know that when I was growing up and then when I had my first child, if it wasn't for my village and the community that helped me along the way, I don't know how I would have survived. My child would have survived. So I
Mm,
hope that it's not long gone.
yeah.
Because I think it's much needed. We need the help. You can't do it all by yourself. So I'm hopeful. That's all I know to say.
Just
What do you
hopeful.
think, Norm? What do you think?
All right. Because there are a lot of variables that can be changed and can't be changed, um, we have to talk about, let's first of all say, we have to talk about, we had telephones on the wall. Let me go there too. We had telephones on the wall. So if I was to go and see Tim and Telly and them, if I was going to walk to their house, once I called and said, "Are you home?" and I get off the phone and start going in that direction, I'm going in that direction, and hopefully they still there when I get there. If not, or we're meeting, or I'll meet you.
Yeah,
Meet me halfway. Somebody's house is in between. We're gonna meet over such and such house and pick him up, and pick them up, and then we're gonna leave from their house and go pick them up. So anyway, we have bicycles.
Yeah,
I think parents give kids rides everywhere they need to go these days.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, there's things that's interchangeable. So I will get to the answering the question too. So we also grew up in an era where crack rock started hitting our neighborhood. So things started happening. Of course, violence, guns, all kinds of stuff came into play.
Yeah.
It's kind of even almost sad to say it was scary to go outside anymore, right? So you had to stay inside because you didn't want to be out and something just randomly happens or something. So we kind of grew up in that era where things, and I can see where parents were scared to let their kids go out and play and different things like that. So those are some things that to me, the crack era is the number one reason why we're the last because of the crack era. The crack era destroyed families.
Yeah.
So devastated the black structure and some white families too. We're just making a black thing, but when we statistically look at the numbers, it definitely hit the black neighborhoods harder. And it destroyed the black family, even black men going to prison, black moms being strung out on drugs. Now grandparents are raising kids. Now kids are raising kids. Now the effects of poverty on top of that. You know what I'm saying? So, at one point when I went to college, I know when I turned 20, my friend, I remember Ryan, my friend Ryan saying, "Bro, it's a miracle and it's a blessing that you live to see 20 years."
Wow.
And I remember Ryan saying that, and it made me think,
it made you pause for a second and say, "Hold on,
let me
think about this."
Yeah, I'm saying, like, wait a minute, because a lot of black males and being free at that, you're not locked up or you're not dead at the age of 20. That makes you think. So that's why I say we were. So is there hope? I think there's always hope, and I'm a person with a deep faith.
We can't lose hope.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
once hope is lost, then
that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's why I stay here in this community center, because I feel that's kind of like you talked about earlier about having a purpose. I be wanting to walk away because I feel like I got skills and I got a degree and I could go do this and I want to walk away, but then when I do and I watch a kid, right when I get that feeling and I see a kid come through my door and I'm like, dang, you know what? All right, we're gonna get this kid some hope too. Whatever. Absolutely. But I think it's possible. So I know I ramble. Sorry if I ramble off into my answers, but just basic. I'm gonna be an optimistic person and say there's hope. Now, being a realist, it's taking time.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little time. for us to get back to that village raising a child. And it's not too lost. It's not too far gone. It's not too far gone. It's not too far gone. I see some people out here doing. I see other than just me. I see people in the community that that are doing good things for these kids and looking out for the youth and some of these young adults. So,
and sometimes that takes individuals like you to inspire others to get involved. They don't want to be that initial individual, but once they see someone else doing things, then they say, "Hey, I can piggyback on the efforts. I see Norman doing these things. Let me go and kind of contribute it." It's tough being the one to break down the wall and break down and be the leader and the first one to do something. But you provide inspiration to other people to say, "Hey, he's trying to give back. Let's try to help him out. Let's try to contribute it. If it's dropping off clothes if we need to, if it's financially, hey, I can't give you the time, but I can help, with some finances, or I can't give you the finances, but I can give you some time." So I think that's important. But the other thing we haven't touched on, which I think personally has drastically played a negative impact, not only Black kids but all kids now, is the devices, smartphones, the iPads, one, I don't see kids playing pickup things in my neighborhood because they're all in. I'm like, where are all the kids? They're all inside on their iPads, and when they talking to each other, it's because they're on, a video game, talking to each other through a video. I'm like,
who's sharing the future? We're talking with our thumbs, right?
Yeah, no, and I'd be out, come back home, and I'll see, family men, younger generations and friends come over, and they're in the same room, but they're not talking to each other. They're all on their phones, but they just sitting in it. I'm like, y'all, like, not even talking to each other.
Not even.
And you're in the same room, right, and you not even talking and
ain't even looking up to acknowledge each other and shit.
So I think that's contributed to, when you're inside and on a device all day, then you're not outside running around. You're not outside, playing pickup ball, trying to do something. I think we got to get our kids heavily involved in sports early on. The values that even if you're not the super athlete or going to be successful and professional athlete, but there's value in learning how to compete in life, learning how to be a team player in life, learning how to work with others, learning how to get knocked down and get back up. You're going to lose some battles, but we're going to come back and win some. So I think and I'm like you, I can get on my soapbox about this and talk all night long until the lights go out in here. But
I think that's what I was alluding to when I said we have phones, but it is one of those things too where people are like, hey man, these kids getting softy.
Yeah, absolutely. And
they fall down and
technology, I view it as the gift and the curse. It's going to help transcend some things, but you're going to have to deal with the negative impact. Yeah, there's going to be some things where AI, those things are going to be.
I was about to say, Lady T, that's one of our topics is coming up. We're going to talk. We're going to talk about. We want to talk about this new AI stuff. We ain't into that. But you're so right. These devices are getting into the hands of 2-3-year-olds.
No, and some of these. These are still brains
it's a babysitter
that are neurologically in development. If you think about it from a kind of a medical standpoint, you're exposing, elementary kids, even middle school kids who don't have the capacity to deal with, someone didn't like it, I got a dislike, and I got a this, and I didn't get so many likes from a picture, and adults, we know how to, our brains are fully developed, and we have the capacity to deal with, negative things. And I think our kids are exposed to way too much outside influence and living life based on what others, how others view and value them, as opposed to how they value themselves. At home we have it, obviously I don't say they can never get on devices, but my wife doesn't. You have very limited time, and I have a 16-year-old daughter, 13-year-old son, and there's no any of this social. There's no Facebook, there's no Instagram, there's none of those accounts.
Hey, man. I commend you for that. And I know it's a hard thing. Do your kids read a lot?
Oh, do they? Our library is bigger than the public library in Concord.
Yeah.